Hey boys and girls, Ken Smith, KenSmithFishing.com. Going to give you a Toledo Bend update. We just got back last weekend from fishing the Bass Champs tournament down there. And, you know, this is one of those situations where there's just so much to fish and not enough time. We had been on Ray Roberts the prior weekend, I think, and just didn't have a chance. We hadn't been on Toledo in a month or 2-3 weeks since the BFL down there. So we just went absolutely cold turkey, and you'll see right here, I'm kind of chuckling as we start the day that we really have no clue what we're going to do.
All right, so we're on the countdown here. We got about 30 seconds left till 7, and we have absolutely no clue if we're going to catch anything or not. Do we?
Oh yeah.
I ain't got a clue.
Oh yeah.
And now he's got the same crap I had at Ray Roberts. I made my partner sick. So we're going to go angling and see what happens, and hopefully we can catch a few fish. We'll start y'all with the first cast. Oh, he says I can cast.
And so we didn't. So Dickie had caught. I had struggled down there in the Bass Champs a few weeks before. Dickie, however, had caught. He caught 15, 16, 17 pounds. Nice stringer, top 10 finish, I think. And he was just basically out dragging. And what he was dragging was those fish on Toledo. They like to transition from up super shallow to either the inside edge of the grass line, or in Dickie's case, he found some fish on just some little secondary clay points. And he had 2 of them that it was quite literally every cast for a couple different periods of time that he hit them. And so we decided to start down south. We were actually a little bit south of 6 Mile. And we started on one of these shallow points. Matter of fact, here's the sunrise that morning. It was really pretty.
Toledo Bend sunrise. It is, what time is it, Newberry?
$6:28.
So Bass Champs called a late minute wind advisory trailering event. So we just launched at Indian Mounds. We got nothing to do for half an hour, so we're just out here enjoying the sunrise. Beautiful morning, May 2018.
So Bass Champs called sort of an audible real late in the morning because of what some wind that they did not expect that actually didn't occur. But we got to trailer, so it was one of those we could start fishing. I think at 6:30 or 7 or whatever it was. So we actually got out and just kind of rode around a little bit and enjoyed ourselves, and then settled on a point. And right off the bat, I caught a little keeper here. You'll see.
Kentucky rain. Oh, he is a fat one. He's a fat one. Next up. He was not getting loose. He might keep. He's a giant. Number 1, 3rd cast.
Caught that fish dragging, and then fish were kind of up knocking some shad around. Again, the boat's probably sitting in, by the way, again, love the Ultrex. The Minn Kota Ultrex is just a cat's meow. But we just set up off this little point, probably had the boat in about 8 or 10 feet of water, throwing up into 3 or 4 feet of water, a few stumps, but mostly just a clay point, and we struggled. We didn't catch much at all, and it was a spot Dickie had really whacked him on a few weeks before. The lake, by the way, the water's in the mid to high 80s, so the water's really, really warmed up. But what's weird is where there was really good hydrilla just a few weeks ago or a month ago. Whoops, Stella just came out and said hi. There's really not much grass now. The grass is, and the water hadn't been high. I don't know what's going on, but 6 Mile, more specifically Housen, the mouth of Housen, when there was some beautiful grass not long ago, there's not much. So we bounced from there. We bounced up and fished some of the major creek swings in Housen. Really didn't catch much. I did catch a few fish. I think I said here a second ago, caught a few fish on a popar. They were up knocking shad around, so here's a couple of those little bitty fish.
I lured him up with a yeller magic there, Newberry. Oh, look out. Keeper, but not a good one.
Then I saw a fish move up against the grass and fired a frog up there, and I actually foul hooked a keeper on a frog right here.
Got it?
Nope.
Good?
Nope. Shit, he's feeling better than I thought he was. Got him foul hooked.
But it's a keeper, ain't it?
I think so.
I can't see. I don't want to keep.
Foul hooked him on a frog. What are the odds of that?
Much.
And then we just sort of bounced around and didn't catch much. I think we had a 3 or 4 fish limit, 3 or 4 fish, and we just kept working our way up the lake. So kind of 6 Mile, Housen, Indian Mounds, Mouth of Lowe's, Pendleton, Pendleton Bridge, kind of the old Frontier Park area, all the way up to the mouth of Patroon and a little north of Patroon. So we covered a lot of water. But, you know, it's one of those deals where a lot of times you actually come out doing okay, where you're not locked in on anything, so you're just fishing. We just went fishing. And we just kept bouncing around, and eventually we found a little group of fish up around Patroon on a main lake point. And truthfully, they were probably a little further along than we anticipated those fish being. We saw Ben Matsubu and his partner. We saw Chris Wilson and his partner. And we saw somebody else that had high teen stringers in this same area, mosquito, sorry. Based upon that, we just, you know, we found fish. We just found them too late in the day. I caught a nice 4-pounder right here kind of late in the day. This is probably about 1:30 or 2.
Good? Huh?
That helped. Huh?
Bunch. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Trolling motor?
Show what happened.
Yep. Helps a bunch right there. Put a waypoint down right there, Dickie. So there's a note to self. Make sure you get your line out of the way of the funnel tracks because it don't care.
And that fish was the difference between us having an 8-pound limit and having almost 13 pounds. But it didn't get us a check. Boy, I'd love to have had a day of practice because I think we probably could have caught a stringer, you know, once we figured out kind of what was going on and the part of the lake we wanted to be in. But that's part of just fishing a big circuit. You know, we're fishing multiple circuits. We're fishing, both of us, the Costas, the BFLs, the Texas Team Trail, and also bass champs. And sometimes you just kind of run out of time to practice, and you pay the price for it. Which is why, you know, a couple of the dominant teams down there who don't fish any of the individual stuff and only fish the team stuff, you know, they're hard to beat on a regular, especially when they don't travel. They stay right there. They're hard to beat, but hey, that's the way they want to do it, and I enjoy fishing new water and different stuff on occasion, so power to them, and I enjoy what I do, and Dickie enjoys what he does as well. So if I were going back to Toledo, and I think this probably would ring true to Rayburn as well, I think the fish are trying to transition out and get on summer patterns now. So I'd spend most of my time probably deeper than 8 and less than 20 feet deep. I don't think they're quite out super deep yet. I could be wrong, but that would be my report, is to certainly on Toledo, spend your time in that sort of 8, 10 to maybe 16 feet space. We caught most of our fish, as you've seen on the video here, dragging. I caught a couple little topwater fish, but nothing to speak of. And the guys that I know that did well are all sort of bottom fishermen, draggers, and football jig guys. We really didn't see anybody catch anything. Actually, I don't think we really saw anybody catch anything through the day. A lot of traffic on the south end of the lake and a lot of traffic in mid-lake. So we actually had a fun day. We just didn't catch a jack. But you know what? We do it because we enjoy fishing and enjoy catching fish. So that's our report. New boat's here. I'm going to shoot a video tomorrow and I'll get it posted up. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And a big announcement tomorrow, probably within 24 hours of the time this gets posted. And it's cool. So we'll be on Rayburn, not this weekend, but the following weekend, practicing for the Texas Team Trail Championship, and then back down there the following weekend. So a lot of Rayburn footage coming. Guys, stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe. It'll be on the left side. Is that the left? I'm not sure. Whichever is left side here, my picture. If you'll click on that, it gives you the option to subscribe. I really appreciate those guys subscribing. Love the emails, love all the feedback I get, questions I get. And we'll see y'all on the water soon in the pretty new silver 521C, Z521C Ranger with the new Merc on it. And I can't quite say what that is yet, but you'll see it in the next 24 hours. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you.